guys, it's Lauren and I'm filming a video on how to adult / moving away from home for the first time / just tips for life living on your own without your parents. And I'm actually making this video. Thought I would post this. I'm in this one Facebook group and a girl, Alyssa Vescio, Vescio, said, "Girl, I can't believe you're in this group. I watch your YouTube videos." And I'm about to comment. Speaking of which, I should probably make one. Here we go. Speaking of which, I need to go make one. Ha 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 ha. Shout out to you. Anyway, so I wanted to make a video about just like how to adult and moving away from home for the first time. So jumping right in. So when it comes to moving away from home for the first time, there's a few things you should keep in mind. I knew I was ready to move away and live on my own. I just knew I was. I don't really get homesick very much. I still haven't. I never really did. Nothing against my parents or my hometown. I was just ready to leave. And I still love seeing my parents and I'm really excited to go home for Thanksgiving break, but I just didn't want to live there anymore. And I knew that I was ready and would be able to do it. So if you think you're going to get really homesick, maybe don't move super far away, because I mean, I moved from Chicago to Orlando, obviously, and that's pretty far. You can't really very easily drive that. It's about a 22-hour drive, so you can't really drive that, at least not in a day. And even if you do 2 days, that's still a lot of driving in 2 days. You really just have to fly. And so if you're not willing, like if you're not going to be okay with living far away, then I wouldn't recommend moving that far. But I mean, you could still move somewhere on your own nearby, so that way whenever you're homesick or whatever, you can go visit your family or they can come visit you, which would be even better because you really need to acclimate to living on your own. Here at college, they say to all the freshmen, try to not go home for at least something like 30 days, or I don't know exactly what it was, but something like that for all the people who live locally, because most people here live locally. And I think that's a really good idea because then it gets you to adjust to that and you're not going to be needing to go home all the time. So that was never a problem for me, but if it's going to be a problem for you, maybe just know that and don't move super far. And then just have them visit you so that you can still be on your own, just getting the comfort of your family as well. And then when it comes to actually moving somewhere, there's a lot of things that you have to think about. So, you know, usually, I mean all the time really, you have to pay a safety deposit and first month's rent up front. So my parents ended up paying for my first month's rent because I just did not have the money for it. Like, I just didn't. And they actually ended up just paying that, and I never paid them back for it because I would have had to pay them back at the end. But at that time I was moving to college and there were so many expenses that I had to pay for, like when it comes to buying things for the dorm room, that they just were like, you paid every other month's rent, you were very responsible with that, you didn't ask for money for rent, so we'll just pay for that. So that was very kind of my parents. But if like they're not going to do that, you need to be saving up to be able to pay for that. And the safety deposit as well is usually a couple $100s, so you'll need that too. Then since you're gonna have to be paying rent, obviously, you need to be looking at apartments. If it's somewhere far away, like I moved to Orlando, obviously I can't just like go look around for apartments casually because I would have had to pay for a flight and that's too much. So we had my great aunt and uncle, shout out to them, they're the best. They went around and looked at a bunch of apartments for us and they were so great. They wrote this list of all these things about all the apartments and like told me which ones they liked and which ones they thought weren't good. So definitely try that. Also, nowadays, there's a lot of Facebook pages that talk about different things from different areas where you can ask, like, what are some good apartment complexes here? So you could also do that. I mean, I know I'm in many groups from Orlando. A lot of them are work groups, but a lot of them are just from the area as well. And either one of those you could ask them in. And if you ever have any questions about Orlando, moving to Disney area, feel free to ask me. I'd definitely be willing to give you recommendations based on my experience and also what I've heard, because I have seen a lot about it in the groups. So once you found your apartment and you have enough money for first month's rent and your security deposit and everything, you obviously kind of want a job. So you want to make sure you have a job set up down there. Unless you have like a lot of money saved up that you have lots of time to find a job, you'll really want one set up before you move. Unless you're just like crazy spontaneous, I don't know. But I'm not that spontaneous, so I mean, I was moving for the job, so I knew I had that. So just make sure that you have a job set up, so that way when you get there, you're not going to be worrying about it. Or have a bunch of money saved up so you have a little time. Then packing. This is a serious struggle. You're gonna have to figure out what kind of vehicle you're moving in, because I moved all my stuff down in my Honda Civic and then bought all the furniture down there. So if you're like me and you're moving out of home for the first time, you most likely are gonna need to buy like everything unless you're bringing stuff from home. I didn't want to bring my stuff from home because I didn't want a moving truck and I'd rather just buy things. So I bought a lot of stuff off Craigslist. The Let Go app, most of that worked out really well. I got bed bugs once. So, yeah. Be careful of that. If you start getting lots of little bites, you should check on it. Alright, I'm back. I got really warm, so I had to turn down the air. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, packing. So figure out what kind of furniture you're bringing, if you're bringing any, how you're going to move down there. If you're going to buy furniture, it's not that hard to find in a very populated place like Orlando where people are constantly moving in and out. So it's not that hard to find some used furniture there. But just know kind of the gist of what you're going to do. And when you're packing, like, get rid of a bunch of stuff. I have a problem with that. I'm kind of a hoarder. I feel like I'm going to need stuff forever, and I don't know why, but I might need this someday, but just get rid of it. Have somebody with you who can be like, no, you don't really need that, get rid of it. For me, that is my mother. And it's funny because I'm that person for other people. I'm always like, no, you don't need that, get rid of it. And they're like, but I want it. And I'm like, toss it. So just have somebody with you who will be able to make you throw stuff away. Well, that's most of what I have for actually like moving away. Yeah, that's most of what I have for actually moving away. Then I just have some tips on adulting and such. I kind of had to learn this. Still not perfect at it. My room was totally a mess this week, but I cleaned it all up and it looks very nice now. But some little tips on adulting, very random ones. But first one is, if you have a roommate, make sure that you talk everything through before you move or right when you move in, because you don't want to leave everything up in the air and then it's all just like, things just get weird if you hadn't sorted them out. So like food, how do you feel about people eating your food? For me, I'm going to talk about like right now in my dorm. I mean, you can, but make sure you ask me first. So just ask me first before you eat anything or take anything of mine. And if you are, it's nice to replace it. But most of the time we're pretty cool with, yeah, that's fine. We just kind of give and take, and you get my pizza rolls, I'll buy you this time, that sort of thing. But make sure you figure out sharing things. I feel like a pretty good rule of thumb is just always ask. And if you know somebody's like, don't ever touch my stuff, then obviously don't ask because they are going to say no. But if they're kind of okay with it, just even if they don't say to ask, just ask anyway. It's just the best way to do it. And set up kind of a cleaning schedule. For us, I take care of we all clean up after ourselves, but when we have room checks, which we have room checks about once a month here, I do the living room, one of my roommates does the kitchen, and one of them does the bathroom. So that's kind of how it works. But overall, we make sure that we're picking up after ourselves. One thing we're terrible on is trash. We just made a trash schedule because we're just so bad at taking it out. Because before, I had valet trash service, and I never realized how amazing that was until I'm here and I have to walk all the way to the dumpster, which is kind of it's not that far away, but it's kind of a hike when you don't want to go, and it's always the opposite direction of the way I'm going. So yeah, just set up a trash schedule or something, which is what we just did. I'm also bad at doing dishes, so just try to do your dishes. It's hard. We don't have a dishwasher here, and not having a dishwasher kind of sucks, I'm not gonna lie. So just try to do your dishes. Don't mess up your sleep schedule like I do all the time. Mine's been getting bad again lately, and I'm like, no, Lauren, get back on it, because it was so good. I mean, not great, but it was so much better than it was in Florida, and now I'm messing it up again, and I need to stop that. So really try to not mess up your sleep schedule. Like in Florida, I'd stay up till like 6 a.m. and then just sleep all day. Or I'd stay up till 5 a.m. and then go to work at 6 a.m. Like, it was awful. It was a total mess. And then I'd sleep all night, like all afternoon, all night, whatever. I was just so tired all the time. And honestly, I've started to get to the point of my life where I'm like, it's kind of better to be well rested during the day and not have as much fun at night and not watch that extra Netflix show. I'm still working on it, but try to not mess up your sleep schedule. It can really suck sometimes. Make a to-do list. So whenever you have a lot of things to do, this can work for anybody, most of this at any point in your life, but set up a to-do list for all the things you've got to get done, and that makes it a lot easier because you can check it off, and it's always so satisfying, and it makes you feel less overwhelmed, I feel like, when it's all just in front of you and it's like step by step. It makes me feel less stressed, at least. And crock pots, use them. They're great. I have a crock pot. Haven't used it at college yet, but I did use it in Florida because I was cooking myself all my meals. I didn't have a dining hall I could go to, you know. So crock pots are great. You can make so many different things in them, and you just put them in the morning or whatever, and then by the time you get home from work at night, boom, you got a meal right there. So use a crock pot. It's a pretty cool invention. And also, healthy choice microwave meals are the best ones, like the circular ones where you dump it in and to the rice or whatever you have and you microwave it. Those are the best ones. 10 out of 10 would recommend. And they sometimes have sales on them too. So I recommend those ones, especially the ones with chicken and stuff. I liked I don't know, pretty much any of like the orange chicken, that kind of one. Those are pretty great. So make a shopping list for the grocery store with obviously your healthy choice meals on it, but grocery lists are great because you'll only buy what you're actually going to need and eat instead of being like, wow, I just need all of this. Like, obviously I need it all. And eat a snack before, which everybody says, but it really does matter. So make a grocery list and only buy what's on your grocery list. And then you should make sure you clean. But like actually clean. I had a kind of a problem with this at first, with my bathroom especially, just not ever actually disinfecting, cleaning it. But you gotta do it. I mean, there's a difference between tidying and cleaning. You should always be tidying, but you should definitely be cleaning too. I still struggle with it. It's a lot of work, but it will just make you so much happier when everything's clean. I know that I feel like my life is 1,000 times more put together when things are clean, so I'm sure yours probably will too. Ask your parents for help with taxes, tax returns, all that is very confusing when you have never done it before. So I have no shame in saying that my dad did all my tax return things. So just ask your parents for help. Or get TurboTax or something, who knows? But parents are free, so ask your parents. And make sure you're taking care of yourself overall. Just like don't try not totally eat trash. I'm working on that. But try and take care of yourself. Try and work out sometimes. It's hard, for me at least. I suck at working out. And take care of your skin. Make sure you take off your makeup at night. Always take it off. Just get some coconut oil. It's not that hard. And just take care of yourself, okay? Do a face mask once in a while. And then I just have a couple more. These ones are very important, probably the very most important ones. First of all, call your parents. They want to hear from you. And second, your mom is always right. And she was always right, and you're probably starting to realize that now. So Mom, I love you, and I know you're always right. It's fine. So make sure you call your parents, because they'll miss you, I'm sure. Especially I'm the last child, so I left them empty nesters. So I have to make sure that I'm calling and saying hello to them so they feel like they're a present part of my life still. So I hope you enjoyed these moving and adulting tips, and if you're moving soon, or if I'm sure all of you are going to be moving at some point in the future, so when you do, just refer back to this video, see if I have anything useful for you. I hope that I do. But if you're moving somewhere soon or looking forward to college, let me know where you're planning on going, or just comment where your dream place to move would be. If I could move anywhere in the world, no, I'm going to do United States. If I could move anywhere in the United States right now, it would probably be New York. I really like New York. And I like how everything's open all night, or at least till like 2 in the morning, because that's just the way it should be. Starbucks is open 24/7. I need that in my life. So comment below where you're going to be moving soon and where your dream place to move would be. I hope you all have a great day or night or whatever it is, and I will talk to you all soon. Make sure you like and subscribe. Love you. Bye.